Okay. Hi, everyone. So we're going to start out this morning with a breathing exercise, and we'll do a little Wim Hof method. This method makes the fluids more alkaline, and that can have health benefits, and it can help us start our day in in a good way and add some more alertness. So we will we'll do this exercise. It's basically getting more oxygen into the blood. So we're basically increasing the amount of breath we're taking in over a period of time. So just taking in more oxygen. Um, so the breaths are deep, and we're kind of breathing into the belly, but it's not overly forced. So it's fairly natural breathing. Um, and the next time we do this, I'll look at it again, kind of refresh. It's been a little while since I've done it. Um, so we'll have the instructions more refined in the future. But I wanted to get started on it, and it's important to do it in the morning, I find, because you need these empty stomach conditions to do it. So if you just ate a meal, if you just had breakfast or lunch, it's not the time to do it, because it'll upset that digestion, and it can interfere with the digestion and basically kind of push that food out of your stomach a little bit early. So that's why it's not really ideal. But for me um, on the West Coast, where it's still in the morning, right around 9 a.m. Yeah, for me it's a fine time to do this exercise. And if maybe you had breakfast a few hours back, and if that's the case and you didn't have lunch yet, you can go ahead. Um, so yeah, we're gonna breathe in, kind of deep natural breaths in, and then breaths out. And when you exhale, you do want to basically exhale completely. So it'll be like breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. And as you're doing that, so you're breathing, a little bit more rapidly, a little bit more fully than usual. You're taking in more air, more oxygen, and then we're gonna maintain that for several minutes. Um, After that, we're going to hold it. So we're gonna like hold it for as long as we can, and we're gonna breathe out, and that's gonna be one cycle. And in the method, they do several of these cycles, so they might do four cycles, and each cycle can be an amount that depends on you. So you might be starting at a shorter cycle, and then it increases. Same thing for the breath hold. You might be holding it for a little bit longer, and then you'll be holding it for less. So I think this method, it has a lot of similarities to Indian pranayama. It's very similar to Terumo breathing, which is an Asian style of breathing. There's just some slight differences, and if anything, this is more simple than than those others. There's some modifications later on you can do to make the breath holds maybe more impactful. And those similarities are extremely similar to what's done in some of the yoga traditions. But in the basic version that we're doing here, we're just trying to increase that oxygen intake, um, and that will put more oxygen to the blood and give us the effect that we're looking to get this morning. So let's go for it. So it's going to be, a little bit rapider on the inhale and the exhale, taking those complete breaths in and out, and let's go for it. So breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, in, out, in, out, in, out. And if you want, you can visualize that air kind of coming in at the bottom of your belly and flowing all the way up, filling you up to the top of your head. And the reverse on the way out. So going down from the head and going down to the belly. In, out, 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 in, out. And if you're feeling a little bit lightheaded, that's that's good. That's actually what we're going for. If you're feeling a little bit lightheaded, that's the feeling we're going for. In, out, 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 in, out. So in the next in-breath, we're going to take that full in-breath and we're going to hold and try to go for 30 seconds, a minute, whatever you're comfortable with. In, hold. and I'm releasing. And the amount you hold your breath, if it's longer or shorter, can depend. And sometimes you might find you might be able to go longer in that breath hold after you've kind of put more oxygen in during the exercise. And we're going to keep going and do another cycle. So
Yeah,
breathe
I
in.
did that. I found that when I was at my end of my hold, I could inhale a little bit more, and it gave me just another couple seconds, but still.
It's Yeah, it's really interesting how that works. You know, I find that I feel less breath depleted. Um, but yeah, let's proceed. I think yeah, often like 3 cycles is good, 3 or 4. But yeah, let's do one more here. So, and how are you doing with your stomach with that?
Oh, it's good. Yeah,
Okay,
it's
perfect.
good. Yeah.
All right, let's go for it. Breathe in, breathe out, in, out, in, out. Complete exhale, complete inhale. In, out, 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 in, out. You try breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. In, out, 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 in, out. And if you're starting to feel a little bit dizzy, a little bit lightheaded, that's what we're going for. In, out, 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 in, out. And after the next in breath and out breath, we're going to hold. In, out, in and hold. In, hold. Breathing out. Okay, so that's good. And I'm just gonna wrap this up with a few push-ups. You're welcome to join in that if you want. I'm just gonna do just to keep the strength going here. So oh
Thanks, Jonah. That was fun. It was it made me recall that um people who hold their breath underwater, like to, for world records or whatever, they do that first, that hyperventilating to enrich,
ah
I
ah
guess,
okay.
to enrich their blood with
Yeah,
oxygen.
it makes it easier to go for longer. So let's see. Let's keep track of how we feel today, see if we feel more, more awake um, from that exercise, and I'll check in see um to see the effect. There are a lot of reported health benefits from doing this and even not over that long of a period of time. So I think it's an interesting exercise to explore.
You held
Uh,
your breath at least twice as long as I held mine, I must say. I was impressed.
yeah, I was doing because I when I was with soccer and for some time afterwards, he has an exercise called Shambhavi Mahamudra, which is a routine, and in that there's a long breath hold. And in the beginning, you can't do it. I couldn't do it for that long at all. But then after doing that for a while, then that builds up. So there's probably even though I haven't done that in a while, I think that that changed some of the breathing. Um, so yeah, it does it that kind of thing increases over time.
Hmm.
Um, okay, so let's proceed with our meditation. Um, gonna just get out of the sun a little bit here. It's a nice day and perfect weather. Perfect weather to be outside. I slept outside last night and it was yeah, it's just like the perfect temperature for here. Um, but
Yeah, I always
yeah,
have appreciated that you've been outside, and I wish more of us would go outside and do Zoom meetings from, it's just nice to see, the outdoors. Oh.
yeah, no, I love being in nature. Helps clear my mind and feel good. So in of the next part of this, it's also going to be kind of like a exercise. Um, it's going to be a simple meditation, and we're going to do a listening meditation where we're going to listen to the ambient noise, um, that's around us, and we're going to endeavor to pay full attention to those sounds um, in order to quiet down our mind. I'm going to give credit to a teacher of mine from India who actually is now in the United States, and he's right next to where I am. So I've been hanging out with him like every day this week. But this is Mohan Joshi. So master healer Mohan Joshi healed over 100,000 people in India currently. His son and his grandsons in the United States, so that's why he's here. Um, his one of his he's up to Patanjali as a kind of giver of instruction. Some of the exercises he used to get to where he is. One of those exercises, one of his favorite ones, Namo San Dharan, where you're just listening. So if you have some birds chirping, that's great. If you have a highway going by, that's great. If it is like completely quiet in the room, and in upstate New York where you are, there's nothing going on, you can turn on some music, whatever you want to listen to. Um, for me, I mean, I think I hear like maybe somebody's watering their lawn outside. I hear some birds, doing something. So there's some noise to listen to, and we're just going, right. And the idea is you try to pay complete and full attention to that. And it's really not easy to do. I don't find this easy at all because like the mind kicks in, but that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to really pay attention to the sound, and then the mind quiets down. That's the idea of how this works. It's one of the exercises he used to be able to get to a no mind state. When he does healing, he's in a no mind state, and that's one of the reasons why he can heal so effectively. So he did this exercise for a very long time. It's one of the ones he promotes when he initiates people. So we will do this. All right. So you can close your eyes. And just listen, and try to listen completely and fully to sounds that you hear. All your attention is on that sound. Let's go for it. And when that thought comes in, try to put your attention back on the sound. And this is it's a different way to do this. There's other meditations where you have different points of focus. You could be, looking at something, like looking at, there are different things to look at, but you could have a point of focus there. You could have like a mental point of focus, like a vision in your head, or there's something that you're kind of coming back to mentally. You could have, breathing is one. That's a great one. But this one is unusual because it's like an auditory point of focus. So it's a differentiated, one of these focus meditations. And for some people, this approach may work better. It may be easier, um, depending on you. And I've just found my mind wandering. I probably caught it after a minute as I was already doing that. So I'm going to bring my attention back to the sounds that are occurring around me. Try to put my full attention on the sounds. Caught my attention wandering again. I'm going to bring it back. Trying to pay attention to the sounds, fully focus on the sounds. So it's not like you're just listening, you're really focusing like all the attention on those sounds. Okay. So then, yeah, we do definitely recommend going for a longer time on this exercise. Hopefully people feel a little bit, hopefully thoughts have calmed down a little bit, or there's some more control over the thoughts. So for me, like when I do this kind of exercise, the objective is to have, for the rest of the day, I want the thoughts to be I want to have a little more control over the thoughts. I want to be able to rein them in a little bit easier. And I do find that if there's an effort, like this, a bit longer, but an effort like this in the morning, then it can help. Um, and yeah, I'm looking for that to persist, the effect to persist over the course of the day.
It's a
So,
nice
you
it's a
know,
nice procedure to follow after the hyperventilating. It was very pleasant to just sit and listen to the flies flying around. Yeah.
oh, all right, got some
Yeah.
noise over there. That's good. You have
Oh,
to take what sources you can get.
yeah. And of course, the computer makes a whirring sound too, and there's traffic going back and forth. W- one one of the
Okay.
one of the sound meditations I came across earlier in life was listening for the farthest sound.
Hmm. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, there's been some water sounds here. I'm not sure where that's coming from. There's not a stream or something. So I was thinking somebody's watering their lawn, but yeah, I'm not sure. It sounds like, I don't know. It's like a bunch of hoses on, or who knows what that is, or a little stream that I can't see. Um, but anyway, so yeah, so we started out more active. Often I find it's good to start out with more active things. So even some type of exercise. So that could be a yoga sequence, or it could be something, like what we've done where we had that pranayama. Again, the pranayama, it's a great thing to start off first. And I had the push-ups, so got some exercise. Then we went to kind of less active, which is the meditation.
Mm.
Okay, so let's jump in. Let's do some energy healing here. Um, you can relax, close your eyes.
Oh, let's send some healing energy to Eva and uh her partner. What's his name? Jeez. Well, anyway, and her partner who are having medical issues at the moment.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's do that.
Fred, yeah, Fred's having his thyroid surgically removed, and
Okay,
yeah.
perfect. I'm gonna do one thing real quick. So, I was on kind of empty stomach conditions doing that. When we're doing the breathing, we want that. So after that, it can be a good time to take a little bit of water, a little hydration. So you're welcome to do that. I'm gonna do that. It's a good time to hydrate. So yeah, and I do find in the morning it's a perfect time to hydrate, or significantly after a meal. So if you had breakfast a while ago, before having that lunch meal, maybe an hour before, half hour before, it's a really good time to have some water that can kind of drain through and clear things out without the food in the way. Okay, so for energy, so there's two people, is Eva, and who is the other?
And Fred,
Looks like Eva and Fred. Okay,
you met Eva,
so
but
let's take some time. Okay, so we'll focus on Eva first and then Fred. So yeah, we can have Eva in mind, sending loving and healing energy to her. And what's the issue she has, like medically?
Yeah, it's her voice is affected as if she's got a cold or something, but apparently doesn't.
Okay.
So throat, yeah, throat and ears
Sure.
maybe. Yeah.
All right, great. So let's spend some time with her and for the ears issue.
Yeah, she said has uh hears as if she's underwater or as if there's water in her ears. Yeah.
Okay. Well, she gets to. I'm feeling some nice energy come through for her. But yeah, Mohan is the master of issues like that. In 3 sessions, he can take care of that kind of thing. Let's do it. Okay, let's move on to Fred. So, what are his issues?
Apparently, a 50% chance of cancerous thyroid.
Okay, all right, let's focus on that. Okay, so now we'll move into our general energy transmission. You can sit comfortably, be with your breath for a few minutes, be with the sensations in your body, and just let energy come in. Feel whatever ever you feel, any mild sensations. And just try not to worry about anything, let thoughts go. Nothing's a big deal right now. So let go of the thoughts. Stay with the energy in that flow. And that's just as much for myself as anyone listening. Catch that thinking and bring it back. Some nice energy flowing through. You know, getting another uptick in the flow. Okay, we're gonna draw our session to a close. So, yeah,
Ah,
thank the
thanks a bunch, Jonah. When is your birth year, by the
you're
way?
it's 86 is the year for that.
Oh,
1986. Yeah.
mm,
Hmm.
mm, mhm. My mom died 10 years later. I was wondering if you were my mom. Yeah, but
Ah,
no,
okay.
you were born earlier than her death.
Yeah, yeah. Preceded that. Um,
That was nice. I love those. I mean, Baba told us not to do pranayama, basically, I guess. I mean, that's been in the writings or something, but I like it. I like pranayama. I I learned some exercises a few decades ago, actually, that were quite wonderful. Of moving to breath, and uh, they were just a hoot, a kick. Yeah.
yeah, no, I think it's good to, get a little more awake, a little
Yeah.
more focused. So I like them. Um, it does, yeah, usually works well in a routine, but I don't think it's necessary to stick to the same one. It's possible to, move around and experiment. Um, but the Wim Hof one is interesting. There's been a lot of research on that one in particular, um, and on the, on the health benefits and how it affects the oxygen level in the blood. Um, so that's one that I'd heard about. I did it for a little while. I stopped, and then I heard about it from a friend just recently, and I got, inspired now to have it again. Um,
Oh, yeah. I'm seeing the Google thing. He was a Dutch extreme athlete and motivational speaker, Wim Hof. And there's a Wim Hof
Wim Hof.
method.
I think he's still alive unless something happens. But yeah, I think he's still around. He's got he's a little bit of a celebrity, so he has a fairly large, following, and he did all these athletic feats doing this
All
method.
right. Yeah.
Um,
It says he was um, known for uh, enduring cold temperatures, and then there's a picture of him in a ice bath.
right. So that's part of the exercise. Yeah, if you want to get ready for next week, is to have that bath going right after the exercises. So that's a step three. Um, that we didn't do this time, but maybe next week if you've got your bucket over there. But I think so. The way I've done it though, more realistically, is go into a cold shower, and that also has a beneficial effect. Um, so after the breathing, after those holds, then you yeah, it cut out for a second, but yeah, that ice bath or that cold shower is the final step of the method of the Wim Hof.
Now I've always not always, but it's always like a great summer thing is to jump into cold water and then come out into the hot sun and and just bake for a while and then jump in
Totally.
the cold water again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I want to be able to explain that better too, but there's reasons why that physics and why it's helpful to do that. Yeah. So we will complete our program here. Thank you so much, Jen, for joining all your input, and we'll see you next week.
It was awesome.
Okay, Baba.
Pleasure. Jay Baba.